So first, you bring your feet quite a bit wider than your shoulders. So you're going to want your toes to turn out a little bit. So some people, they've got a lot of turnout, like former dancers can probably go pretty far. Some people not so much. Just want to find a turnout that feels comfortable for you and especially comfortable for your knees when you're getting into the pose. From here, you're going to sink your hips down. Now, you're looking for something like a 90-degree angle at the knee. That might not be everyone. We're going to get into that a little later. But once you're down here, you can either support yourself with your hands, maybe you just need a little pressure on the knees, or feeling pretty good, so bring your hands up and start to create this rocking motion. So you're going to use this to open up some of the muscles that are on the inside of your thighs, some of the muscles that flex your hips and get kind of tight. And just bring it back and forth. Make sure that you pull your stomach in while you're doing this, so you're just not dumping into your lower back or going into lordosis, where you kind of stick your butt out a little too much and relax your stomach. Just pretty neutral there and supported. Going back and forth like this. Now, this might be a little intense for some people, so we do have a modification. You can use a sturdy chair, the back of a couch. Here we're going to use just the bed in the clinic. Again, you open up your feet, bend your knees. If you can't quite come down so far, you've got some weakness in the legs or maybe some kind of pain in other places, you can support yourself on a surface like this and still create that rocking motion and create some of that gentle opening in the hips and the inside of the legs. If you have any questions, you can ask us in the comments. Have a good day. Okay, so we're going to start on your back. You can bend both knees or maybe one knee at a time towards your armpits. This doesn't have to be very exact. You're just kind of bending where you can getting your feet up off the floor. Yeah. You're going to try and grab onto your feet. This can be either on the outside of your feet, or you can grab onto your big toes with your pointer and middle fingers. If you can't quite get to your feet, see if you can grab at your ankles. You can even grab right behind your knees, behind your thighs, and kind of bring a little bit of pressure there. So you're still kind of bringing your knees towards your armpits and towards the floor. But I like to grab on the outside. Okay, so once you've got your feet, your ankles, the backs of your knees, you can just let gravity do the work. Let your arms get heavy, and with that, it's just going to pull your legs down towards the floor. So you might start to feel an opening more on the inside of the legs, maybe into the lower back. This tends to feel pretty relaxing. You can tell I couldn't even wait. I'm already rocking back and forth. You can sort of massage your lower back. It should feel pretty good. Now, if you want to maybe get into your hamstrings, get a bit of a deeper stretch, first try one leg at a time. Straighten that right leg. Maybe get it a little bit straight. Maybe you get all the way straight. Doesn't matter either way. You're doing this for you. It doesn't have to look like any one thing or the other. Straighten out that left leg. Maybe you're going back and forth. You're going to create a little bit of a rock here. And finding that opening in the legs, the hips, and in the back. You are pretty flexible. Maybe you get both legs straight. You can rock about in that way too. You're just finding how to do this pose so that you get the most out of it, and you're doing what's appropriate for your body today. All right, so that's Happy Baby Pose. So first, you're probably familiar with the regular wide knee child's pose. You've got your toes together, knees out. You bring your arms forward and relax your forehead on the mat. So for some people, that can actually be pretty difficult. It's supposed to be stretching the lower back. It's supposed to be opening up some of the muscles on the inside of your thighs. And if you already have some pelvic pain or pain in other parts of your body, that actually might be a little aggressive. So there are a few things you can do to make it easier for yourself. Okay, so first, if you're kind of up here and you can't quite get your hips down onto your heels, use a pillow, a bolster, sometimes even a block. Give yourself a little bit of space there. And I love being really generous with props. Don't be stingy. If you need lots of pillows, lots of blocks, you can do that. Okay, so that's number one. Now, if you're coming down here and you feel like you're sort of floating up off the ground, or you feel like your lower back is already kind of talking to you, then pillows under the stomach. So you can do one. You might end up reaching your arms in front. Maybe your forehead still meets the floor. If you need a little bit more, again, be generous. And so you're really just getting that slope from the hips to the lower back that you can handle, and that is beneficial to your body right now. So down, Maybe you bring your arms just fold in front of you. You can turn your head to one point. Maybe halfway through, if you're staying for like a minute, you can turn your head to the other side. And so that can give you an opportunity to actually find relaxation in a pose instead of kind of muscling your way into one. That's it for today. Okay. You're going to start on your back. First, bend your right knee. Bring it in kind of like you're aiming it towards your shoulder. You're going to interlock all 10 fingers just below your knee on the shin, and then you're going to pull. So you're sliding your leg down the outside of your torso, kind of aiming for your shoulder. And here, you can actually tuck your chin a little bit. You might feel the back of your neck start to move towards the ground. You might even feel that all along your spine as the muscles in your back relax. But this pose mostly is going to start opening up your hip. As you pull, especially if you pull pretty tightly and you keep a consistent grip, you're going to feel maybe even a pinch in the front side of your hip, opening up your hip flexor. I'll tell you a little bit about how that works. So I'll let this relax. So one of the muscles that flexes your hip, one of the muscles that does this motion, it starts a little below the hip and it comes up on the inside of your hip bone and it wraps all the way around into your lower back. So when you do a pose like this, and bring your knee in. You're working on muscles, or you're working on the same muscle in your lower back and in the front side of your hips. So I'm getting a lot done in this one. So you let that go. Of course, you're going to want to do both sides. Interlock all 10 fingers. Slide your knee past your rib cage in towards your armpit. Maybe tuck your chin down to the back of your neck. Reach towards the floor. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. No need to be hunching up your shoulders in something like this. You're going to try and keep those relaxed as you create that pressure. Also, a winter moving pose can be really nice if you're having trouble going to the bathroom. You're moving some of that matter kind of through your lower intestine, maybe helping the situation along, maybe resolve a little faster. So the last part of winter moving pose, you're going to bring both knees up into your chest. This time, you're wrapping both of your arms all the way around. Now the goal here, trying to get all the way to your elbows. Now, not everyone's going to do that. Maybe you've got fingertips, maybe you're climbing your way up the wrists, the forearms. You're going to work your way until you can really get to your elbows, squeeze the knees together. Again, let your head come back down to the mat. You don't have to keep it tucked up here, but while your head is down on the mat, you can tuck your chin just a little bit. And again, you're kind of pressing the back of your neck towards the ground, creating some opening in those neck extensors. These are muscles at the back of your neck. Sometimes they get pretty tight, especially if you're sitting at a computer all day and kind of doing this. Those muscles get tight. This can help you out with that. So tuck the chin, squeeze your knees together, and squeeze your knees into your chest. You might feel that pinch on the front side of both hips. And you're also creating that pressure along your abdomen again. That might help a little bit with digestion, speed some things along if they are moving slowly. You know what I mean. Give that a nice squeeze, hold for about 20, 30 seconds, and then back up. And that's when